Math 3, Lesson Summary Video, Statistical Studies. This lesson is a Solidify Understanding task, which takes concepts developed previously and helps you formalize those ideas. The purpose of this lesson is to understand and identify the parts and differences of experiments, surveys, and observational studies, and the role randomness has on their conclusions. There are three main types of statistical studies: sample surveys, experiments, and observational studies. What are the differences between the types? Let's start with the sample survey. Sample surveys choose a random sample to represent the population that they are trying to draw a conclusion about. They do not control their subjects' situations, nor do they have any treatments or procedures, but they collect data about their subjects by asking questions, collecting physical data, or observing outcomes. Experiments have very controlled situations, procedures, and treatments. They are specifically designed to compare outcomes based on a single variable. Their subjects are not a random sample of the population, but are usually from a group that is available. Their treatments or procedures, however, are randomly assigned to the subjects that are available. Observational studies do not choose participants randomly from the population, nor do they control the situation, procedures, or randomly assigned treatments. They usually take advantage of already existing data that they analyze and look for patterns and connections. Some of the main differences between these studies center around how they choose their participants and how the connections between circumstances and outcomes are controlled. The group of participants is called a sample. This is a small group used to represent the whole group you are interested in studying. The whole group you are interested in studying is called the population. To be a random sample, every member of the population has to have an equal chance of being chosen to be in the sample. So what can we conclude from these different types of studies? What can be concluded and about who can it be concluded is linked to how randomness is used in the study. For sample surveys, if the sample is a random selection from the population, then any conclusions, patterns, and observations can be generalized to the entire population. But because the conditions are not controlled or randomized to isolate circumstances and their influence on the subjects, you cannot conclude a cause and effect relationship. For experiments, since the subjects come from what is available, are volunteered, and are not random samples of the population, you cannot generalize your findings about the entire population. Your conclusions are only true for this group that was studied. In contrast, because the experiment is designed to isolate the treatments and randomize their assignment to the sample, you can conclude a cause and effect relationship between the treatments and the outcomes. In an observational study, neither the sample nor the conditions are randomized. This means we cannot generalize to the entire population, nor can we conclude cause and effect. All we can conclude is there is an association or relationship between variables for this particular group of subjects.